oltmanpatent.com. That's oltmanpatent.com. Spokesperson, not an attorney. This program is brought to you by Fresh Start Tax. Fresh Start Tax offers a full range of tax and accounting services, including tax return preparation and bookkeeping, as well as back taxes, wage garnishments, unfiled returns, or any other tax-related concern. Our dedicated team of tax attorneys, CPAs, and former IRS agents offer over 60 years of professional tax experience. For a free consultation, call 866-700-1040. That's 866-700-1040. You can also visit us on the web at freshstarttax.com.
Welcome to New Business on Main Street with Russ Johnson. It's where social media meets millions of today's consumers. The Entrepreneur Business Strategy will reach over 200 million Americans this year. If moving goods and services is important to you, then you won't want to miss this information on the techniques, skills, and strategies that will increase your bottom line. Get ready for super profits to be made with entrepreneur marketing. There are 92 million millennials in the United States, meaning those born between 1980 and the year 2000. They will take over the leadership of major corporations in the next few years. These future captains of industry are convinced that entrepreneur marketing is the smart way of doing business. It's where entrepreneurship meets millions of today's consumers. So sit back, relax. It's time to learn how to take advantage of this strategy in today's economy. Now, here's Russ Johnson.
Hi, good evening. How are you? Listen, this is 1470, and this is New Business on Main Street. And so what we want to talk about is alternative income producing mechanisms. Most people, if you will, and you heard the intro as the guy was talking about looking at some alternatives, are really locked into thinking about a job, a job. Well, when we look at the statistics, we talk about the 76 million baby boomers. Well, guess what? They're all retiring at the rate of 10,000 a day, and that will continue for the next 17 years. And so that means they are retiring 10,000 persons a day for the next 17 years. The average retirement income is $24,000. The average Social Security check is $11,000. The average savings among the group happen to be somewhere around $3,500. So most people who are retiring just don't have adequate income they have more month than they have money left. So many of whom are going to work at Home Depot, Publix, and other places for $5, $10, $15 an hour. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying there's some alternatives, and we want to talk about those alternatives. When we look at the people who are graduating from universities, the millenniums, there are about 92 million of those people. And as they graduate from the universities and colleges, we know now that 54% of them are unemployed or underemployed. Makes it tough. Many of whom have gone back to work with or live with the parents, and some of them even homeless, according to statistics. We just don't want to get into that numbers, but there's some big numbers. And then you have the veterans coming back from the war-torn areas of the world, many of whom have PTSDs. They're trying to adjust to the civilian life, if you will, and they are having a tough time, as you hear in the news, many of whom are sadly enough are committing suicide, homeless, and all that. So we do need to find an alternative mechanism by which people do have some options, because jobs are being outsourced and automated, and so what can I say? What we want to talk about on the New Business on Main Street is I want to look at, and I will be inviting each and every week as long as we do the program, people who have alternative income producing mechanisms. Now, if a person says, well, I don't know how to start my own home-based business, we will begin to teach you and teach those individuals who really have concerns about how do you access income from the comfort of your home. Now, for those people who are looking for jobs, hey, there are a couple jobs that I just identified today. Now, Culligan, as you know, is a big water company, has a great water company, it's been around for many years, and they are looking for people who want to be managers, area managers, if you will. And if you want to give them a call, you can call them tomorrow. That's 561-966-9333. That number again is 561, if you will, 966-9333. And they are looking for area managers starting from $40,000 a year, upwards of $130,000 a year. So that's a serious income. So many people want to be in an establishment where there's a guaranteed salary at the end of the week. There's some benefits, and they do have great benefits. So you might want to give them a call or pass it on to somebody you know who happen to be looking for employment. Now, today I ran into another person. Now, tax season is coming up, and that's going to be big. That's a big time of the year. You know, we were talking about December, January, February, March, and April. And there's a firm in Boca Raton that's looking for people who want to be trained as a tax consultant. Now, that's an open position, and you can always give them a call. And I was talking with him today. He says he's looking to put 4 or 5 people to work. And I said, what kind of income are we talking about? He said, well, they can make $20, $30 an hour or more based on the ingenuity and the effort that they put in, the training that I have. So why don't you give him a call? It's have a basic income tax course that he will put you through. It's Liberty Tax Service right in Boca Raton on Glades Road. And his number is 561-477-8099. Again, that's 561-477-8099. And just tell him that you heard it on the New Business on Main Street. So that's another way that you can realize some serious income, and you don't necessarily have to have a job. He will teach you how to be your own tax consultant, and he has a training course available for you. And Freddie had some other ones that he wanted to talk about when he comes in. But what I want to talk about is that the option and the alternative, if you go to the Direct Selling Association of Washington, D.C., and all you have to do is go to www.dsa.org and kind of see what they've been doing since 1917. They've been monitoring this all across the world. And they have an industry called the Direct Selling Association. And there are many companies that are looking for people who want to be entrepreneurs. Now, it's called imagination. It's called creativity. It's called the willingness to get up and make things happen for yourself. And so when we talk about networking with social media, it's really a new method by which you can achieve the American dream. As Robert Kiyosaki says in his book on networking, that it is the most important training you can get in the business world. Networking is the new business that needs to be studied, of course, and we need to know the history, the techniques, the skills, the power, the potential, and the life-changing possibilities of what you can do with what we call the new business on Main Street. Now, so are you smart enough to learn what someone is willing to teach you? That's a question. Another question. Do you believe that information already exists somewhere in a book, somewhere on a tape, or in a course that you need to know that will help you to have your own home-based business that you can sit at home and earn some serious income? And are you willing to do your homework and help others to pioneer this industry? That's another piece. So I would say this, if I were doing a commercial, if I were doing an ad in the paper, men and women are wanted for this new business on Main Street. The requirements, what are the requirements? Well, you must be self-directed, goal-oriented. You have to be persistent, and you have to have the willingness to succeed. So if successful doing this kind of business, a lifetime annual 6-figure income is available, and it is possible, and national and international recognition is also possible. Okay, Freddie is coming in. We can take a break now. I think we have 10 minutes. We've been talking 10 minutes. So, let's take a break and let Freddie come in. And he has some things he wants to pass on. Okay.
Be your own boss, own your own successful business marketing empire, and enjoy the financial freedom and flexibility to retire in a 3 to 5 year period of time. Don't let anyone steal your dream of financial security and independence. Personal development is at the core of successful people engaged in entrepreneur marketing. It will help you develop a healthy dose of self-esteem and self-image. Know that what you think about, you bring about. You are a co-creator of your environment. Your mind is the master power that makes it possible. Success with entrepreneur marketing is a mindset. Steve Jobs described it this way: life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, that everything around you that you call life was made up by people no smarter than you. The minute you understand that, you will never be the same again. This is New Business on Main Street with Russ Johnson, where you can learn the strategies needed to be a successful business entrepreneur. Want to learn more about the opportunities entrepreneur marketing can show you to help you be successful? Go to newbusinessonmainstreet.com. That's newbusinessonmainstreet.com. Once again, here is Russ Johnson.
Well, back to 1470. That's 1470. That's New Business on Main Street. And we were talking, Freddie, I just gave out a couple job possibilities. I don't know whether you heard or not. And I just think the tax one is a good way for a person to sit at home or to be trained as a tax consultant. And this guy says he's willing to train the people and get them going and to make the $20,000 or $30,000. I'm correcting, $20 or $30 an hour, which is a great income. And obviously you'll be trained for many, many months to come to make some serious money. You had a couple jobs, Freddie. What did you have available? Now, obviously, you had your own company. You could use some people. Is that right?
That's correct, Russell. The jobs that we were looking at had to do with different employment in different fields. They have everything on here. People were sending me working at libraries. Mm-hmm. Which this is all coming from the salary start that's sent to me. You can go in there and apply for a library receptionist. You can get also airline. They're hiring for $22 an hour. American Korea's LLC, Korea Airlines, that are offering jobs. Movie extras. Believe it or not, they are making movies more in Miami than ever before, and they're looking for part-time and full-time people. All of these. If you have the website, you can go to newbusinessonmainstreet.com, mm-hmm. and we'll get you the information firsthand on these jobs that are being offered on there.
Right. So that's a good way for people to get started. You're talking about movie extras. I mean, who doesn't want to be in a movie? Who
doesn't? But the object of the game is to at least take the opportunity that they're giving you and making it work, mm-hmm. getting on the scene with things that offer you an opportunity to make some money and look for changes in life. I think that's very important. I think people have to change the way they think and the things that they do.
Yeah, we've been programmed to really believe that in the old school that you grow up, you get a good education, you go to schools and get your BA, MA, or MBA or whatever, or PhD, and get this wonderful job with all the benefits, and stay 30 or 40 years, but that's non-existent anymore. People are not doing that. And the people who are going to school, as I indicated earlier, that many of whom, those kids, are going to school and getting the MBAs from those major universities, Syracuse, American University, and Catholic universities, etc., and coming out and not being able to find employment. And so that's 54% of them, according to the statistics that I've read, are now unemployed or underemployed. So they are going to need some alternative income-producing mechanisms, and in addition to the jobs that may be available. Now, you are in media. You are a producer. You have been producing shows for a number of years. Now, people can come to you and be employed. Is that right?
That's correct. If people are looking to get a shot in doing
on the air,
they're doing business on the air, they want to be on the radio, they want to be on television, if they want to get into television production, anything like that, they can give us a call at 866-224-5422, and we'll be more than happy to show them the ropes of the things that we do and how to do them and how to make money at it. Absolutely. Have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever.
All right. And that's 866 what?
224-5422.
5422. Well, on old school, I go slow.
866-224-5422.
Yeah. What I did years ago, a couple thousand years ago, I stumbled into radio by going to a party.
I've seen some of your stuff. It's pretty good.
That's when I got started. I was working on an assembly line at a defense plant in Baltimore, and I went to a party one weekend, and this young lady, we were talking, and I said, "Where do you work?" She says, "I worked at a station at WSID in Baltimore downtown." And I said, "Oh, I said, "I could be on the radio." And she says, "Have you had any training?" "No." "Have you taken any courses?" "No." And she says, so you are telling me that you could be on radio as a radio announcer? I said, yes. She said, come down Monday and I'll introduce you to a disc jockey. And so I did. I came down Monday. She introduced me to this guy, Sparky Mullen. And he says, you haven't had any training? No. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, go get a cup of coffee and, the little runs. He'd go get me a sandwich, whatever. So I was a runner, if you will. so
that's how you broke into the business. You were a runner.
I was a gopher. Yeah, he said, go for this, go for that. And I said, fine. I go, okay, give me a beer. I'll go get a beer. But anyway, the final analysis is that after 2 weeks of being a runner and watching him, and he was showing me some skills that he was doing, and so he told the manager, he says, this guy's ready. The guy says, ready for what? He says, ready to have his own show. So in those days, again.
So that was your training. You were a runner.
I was a runner. Yes. So
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good that you were able to do those things.
Yeah.
And still be put in for a job.
Yeah, right. And so the guy says, well, we have this FM animal, about 3 FM stations in existence, 3 FM radios in existence in the whole town, but we want to get it underway. So would you be willing to work from 12 at night to 6 in the morning playing jazz? I said, you got it. So that's how I started.
That's how you started.
That's how I started radio.
It's really strange, Russell, because you bring up a good point. I mean, you sort of went out there and you didn't stick your head in the sand, and you went and you did what you had to do to survive and make things work. And that isn't happening anymore.
I know. I was talking to this tax guy today. That's what he says. He says that's not happening anymore.
It's not. My son just graduated. And he has 2 degrees, and he's not working at anything that he likes doing right now.
What does he want to do?
Well, he wants, first of all, he wants to make a living.
Of course.
And he's making, I think, $24,000 a year with 2 degrees.
Wow.
And he's at a very good school, a very good job, which I won't mention on the air. But, and I said to him, why don't you take stock in yourself? And before you came tonight, I had 2 young ladies that were in the radio room.
Right.
And they were talking about a product that they sell. And she's been doing it 4.5 years, and she's very good at it.
Oh, is that right?
ABC. She's always be closing.
Well, we need to put her on the air.
Well, she couldn't stay tonight, but she wants to come back next week.
Well, we have to bring her back.
And she has a whole different product.
And so she has a product that you sell.
That you sell.
The direct sales.
Direct sales.
And she's doing very well?
4.5 years she's doing it. She left the real estate business to do this.
Wow.
So you tell me.
No, she can, right.
She's doing really, really well.
Well, let me give you a story, if I may. Here's a guy I'm looking at, this, and I don't know whether you read this now, I'll give it to you. But I was reading about him today. This guy named Paul Oberson. There's an article of him.
Okay. I think I read that one, but okay.
Oh, you read it? Okay. Well, basically his story is that in 1990, he was a coach, football coach, making $2,300 a month. And somebody came along and shared an opportunity with him called Excel in those days.
Excel?
Communications.
Very interesting.
Right. So he went to a meeting in December of 1990 and looked at it, joined, and when the spring came, which was May of 1991, he quit his job. He shouldn't have, but he did quit. He got excited. He says, I can do this. Anyway, so he really stumbled and fumbled in that industry. I mean, he really fell on his face badly, to the extent that his mother and father says, you better go get a real job. I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, you're not making any money. Go back and get your job again. Do something. But he says no, he stayed with it. As a matter of fact, his highest income after 18 months was just shy of $1,000 a month. And his wife wasn't happy with that, of course. His dog even wasn't happy.
Nobody was happy.
Nobody was happy. His mother and father were not happy. But he stayed the course for some reason. And I would like to interview him, but he's gone now. But anyway, after he got to his second year, 24 months, his highest income was $1,280 a month. It was network marketing, multi-level marketing. So he really stumbled. I mean, after 2 years to have $1,200, which was half of what he was making when he was teaching, when he was a coach. But anyway, he still stayed the course. And would you believe he wouldn't quit? And he had some challenges, credit cards bouncing, checks bouncing, whatever, but he still stayed the course. But anyway, here's the long and short of the story. By the time he got to his third year, his it kind of gelled, and it got $10,000 a month after about
Third year, 10,000 a month.
Then when a couple months later, between the next 4 months, it ran between 13 and 15,000 a month. But by the time he got to his end of his third year, he was making $1 million a month for the next 18 months.
It's a good number.
It's a good number.
And it's funny because when you say these stories, Russell, and you tell people, listen, you too can have this opportunity.
Right.
The first thing that comes to their head is, I want to make $1 million a month.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But they're not willing to work at $1 a month.
That's right.
You got to start somewhere.
That's true. You got to start at the basics. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I started with AMP, I lost $49,000.
That's
my first year.
That's a big chunk.
Yes, and then my second year, I lost $15,000.
Okay.
So I figured I'm ahead of the game because I lost less money. There was a lot of startup costs. There was a lot of equipment that had to be bought.
Of course.
There was a lot of traveling to go to different radio stations. Now, radio stations, in my era, when I started, were dying. AM radio and talk radio was dying.
True.
All of a sudden, I can't even find any more spots.
Right.
Because they're sold out.
Right.
So they've become aware of what's going on. And we do shows here all day. You seen tonight all the shows that we produce.
I saw all the people here, when I came in.
And they're all making money. The show, the show that we have, USA to Ride, that was on here today, right in front of me, they signed a new sponsor. They're going to go to an hour.
Wow.
This is a show that started out in Portuguese and nobody listened.
Wow.
Now they're going to be doing an hour. They got a new sponsor. So this is not algebra. This is not something that you can't do. Just take stock in yourself.
And it takes time to build.
Absolutely.
It takes effort.
Well, if anybody knows a shortcut to success, let me know about it.
Let both of us know.
Because you got to learn your trade. You got to get better at it.
Right.
You got to believe in your trade. See, this is one of the things that when I met you, you took me down a path of a whole different show that we're not even doing anymore. But the numbers awoke up so many people that doing this particular show, offering jobs, opportunities. You know, did you talk about Rain International?
No, I didn't talk about that yet.
Well, you're going to keep it a secret again, I bet.
Well, I think he did on the last show. He mentioned the word soul, and that's Rain International. If anyone out there want to really get an understanding of this, all they have to do is Google Rain, like it's raining outside, International, and it's a company that's now in 20 countries around the world. It's a 4-year-old company, and it's been in America for 2 years, just 2 years. So it's the product is. What can I say about the product?
It's phenomenal.
It's a phenomenal product.
Everybody that uses it wants more of it.
You really do. I mean, because in that product that helps a lot of people to stay healthy, people who have diabetes, high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, asthma, people who have pain, get some kind of relief by taking that product. It's all natural, no preservatives, additives, no GMOs, no coloring, no added sugars, none of that. And matter of fact, it's on the black cumin, which is part of the product. There's 6 FDA patents in the product. So it's a solid product, and people should just Google Soul, Google Rain International to see what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And the opportunities are all there.
The opportunity's here. The opportunity.
To tell people about it, to explain to people this is what it does. You know, not asking anybody to be a salesman.
No. You can. I give samples out if you want. People want it, and that's a good thing about it because the product is so efficacious, efficient. That when you give samples out, people usually say, "Hey, that's a good product," or they want more. So that's what it is.
The name of the game is to do something.
Right, do something.
Get yourself involved in something. You know, I take Rain, I take Soul to different restaurants owners that I know, and I tell them.
She's waving.
Yes, her birthday.
It's her
birthday.
Oh, okay.
And I tell people,
happy birthday there. Happy birthday to you.
Here is a product that if I turn it into a health drink.
Right.
And they're putting it on the menus to sell it as a health drink.
Wow. That's
okay.
Excellent.
So here you have something that's good for you. You mix it with maybe pineapple juice or something. You put it together. So it's the same juice, the same healthy juice, we're just spinning it in a different way. It becomes a health drink.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about, Russell. I'm talking about just use a little bit of ingenuity, a little belief,
A little bit of thinking.
and a little elbow grease,
Right.
and anything can happen.
But I think that, Freddie, you as a producer in radio, television, I think we have to teach people what to do.
Education.
Education.
Very true.
You really have to inform people what to do. And obviously, in my background, one day I'll talk about my background, having been on many radio and television stations after having been a gopher for many years. And Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Then I went on and got my BA, MA, PhD in the field and taught at Howard University, Morgan, and all that. But the bottom line is I'm still hustling. I'm still looking out there. But I'm not teaching anymore on television in the university level. And back on radio, and I see a need to teach people what to do to earn serious income without having a job,
That's right.
because that's going by the wayside.
Well, you can earn $8 an hour. I mean, that's what's going on
Well,
right
that's
there.
about it too.
And what are you gonna do with $8? Even $10 an hour.
I know.
You know,
I
my
know.
son tells me, Dad, if you can't pay me $15 an hour, I can't help you.
So, yeah, okay.
So he tells me.
Yeah, right.
I said, but Gio, in my business, I charge $50 an hour, $60 an hour.
Sure.
Because the amount of time is small. I'm not doing 40 hours a week, one show.
Right.
I'm putting multiple shows out there and hitting the masses.
Well, the people who want to follow you in broadcasting, in terms of being a producer or being on the air, you can help them. Is that right?
Of course,
The
I can
people
help
who
them.
want to do something for
Absolutely.
themselves. And that's a great field, to be on radio, on television, to be in...
It's a clean business.
Listen, I used to be a newscaster,
I've seen some of your old footage.
Okay, right. And then I used to do talk radio in Baltimore 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Then I was a disc jockey, and, whatever, on and on, many stations. And, but it's just that you got to hustle. And I think if we teach people how to hustle,
That's right. I think that's important.
that's because
Take a trade and learn it.
Right.
Believe in it and let it work for you.
Right.
And then go out there and do your thing. Those girls that I met today, they're hustlers too. She told me, you gotta hustle.
Okay, well,
the name of the
listen,
game.
I'm continuing to hustle. And so I've been really lucky. I was just lucky, everything, sometimes I touch it and it turns to gold,
They call you silk, baby.
They
They call you silk. Because everything you touch
turns to gold.
turns to gold.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. I tell you, with soul, I just mentioned this. I mean, I hope you don't mind. But when I started 2 years ago, I was making $10 a week, and then $25 a week, and $50. Now that weekly $10 a week, or $50 a week, or $100 a week, now it's thousands of dollars a week.
I know. I see your pay stubs. You do very well,
Right.
and you're teaching people how to do it. So
Right.
give them that website, Russell.
Well, I would say give me a call, 561-465-2710.
That's a good number.
Yeah, 561-465-2710. And I really can mentor you, help you to make some serious money, because I don't, that's just the way it is. Yeah. And Freddie, the people who want to be back on radio and television and be stars, stage, or screen, what do you do?
866-224-5422.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Freddie.
All
I
right.
really appreciate
It was great being on the air. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay, have
the
next
night
week.
that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever God may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. William Ernest Henley.
Dr. Michael Blum of the Center for the Dental Arts has a special offer for Steve Kane listeners. Right now, Dr. Blum is offering a free consult and panoramic x-ray. The x-ray and consult normally cost $225, but the first 25 Steve Kane listeners who call and make an appointment will get it for free. Call Dr. Blum 954-463-4999 and online